Christians, watch this deconstruction and
It's
be
all
prepared
Alex
to be
Briggs.
offended.
No Keith Porter Jr. None of the others that have passed away that actually have brown and black bodies. All of a sudden, it is important. Just all I'm saying to you is noted, noted. Non-judgmental. But what am I supposed to do with that? Feel guilty? I'm just saying, observe it, notice it. That is how it works. That is how it works. Okay? Now, what's happening is we've come during a time of the camera. So these things are being exposed. And man, isn't it exhausting? Mm-hmm. Now I want to pause because my black and brown people are going, yeah, we've been at it for a while. And if you're already exhausted, young man, we might be in trouble, all right? Now just hang with me, okay? It's like drinking from a fire hydrant, isn't it? Journalist arrested, protesters murdered, ballots seized right down the street, child sex trafficking exposed, communities being terrorized, children detained, oligarchs censoring. I got censored for the first time, your pastor, on TikTok. Censored by an oligarch, because apparently I'm a threat. Democracy eroding. Every week there's something new, isn't there? Another crisis stacked on top of the last. Another norm shattered before I even have a chance to mourn the last one. And then I sit here right here this morning wondering right now when I finish this sermon and I go to lunch and I pop up my phone, what shock is coming next? Because what I've learned about white supremacy is it will do everything it can for you not to talk about the white supremacy.
That's right.
True.
But what's more exhausting than all of these endless scandals is what never actually follows the scandals. No justice, no arrest, no consequences, no accountability. Instead, the opposite seems to be happening. Truth tellers are being punished. Power is being protected. Cruelty is being excused. The vulnerable are paying the price. I'm going to be honest.
From the church.
Some days this doesn't just
Me.
feel like tyranny. It feels like inevitability.
Yeah.
And I start to question, can this even be stopped? Because what we are dealing with now, is no longer a right and left. Never really has been.
Mm-mm.
That was
It
the
hasn't.
game.
That was the game.
Played.
That's right.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, we have files coming out. And you could name just about any billionaire or oligarch, and their name is in that file. Mm-hmm. Now, I haven't personally read through all millions of the documents, all right? But I have leaned into a couple of them, and I've read 3 pages yesterday. And it was enough to make me nauseous.
Me too.
And all I'm going to say is this. First, I understand now Genesis 7 more than I ever have. Now, if you're unfamiliar, what is Genesis 7? I was thinking about this the other day. As a kid, I grew up and they handed me this Bible story about how God flooded the world. You know this story? Mm-hmm. You probably learned it in like children's church. It's a great kid story. God just kills them all. Literally. He sends a flood, kills them all. But then all the kids are like, but look at the rainbow. It's like all the kids, they don't even, I don't know about you, maybe you were that kid, but like as a kid hearing that story, I never grew up like, what about the genocide?
Yeah.
The rainbow. And then it was all about God's promise, you know what I mean? God's promise it'd never flood again. Now I'm reading it going, can he take back that promise?
Yeah.
I am actually understanding maybe what the writer was getting at. Did you know Genesis 7 was written it was compiled and edited and written. Now flood stories were all over it. There was the Epic of Gilgamesh. There were loads of flood stories long before this flood story came. So that's not anything new. But it is interesting that the flood story in the Bible, when it came, it was written and compiled by people who had been exiled from Babylon. So the global military superpower came in. They were living in Babylon underneath this supremacy, and they concocted this story. And I used to always be so confused by Genesis 7 going, what do we do with that story? Like, I don't really know what to do with it. Why is it in there? And should kids be reading that? Because it feels really messed up. Like God, it literally is like God says, I'm disappointed I made you. You've disappointed me. I mean, my dad has told me that a couple of times. I'm disappointed in you. You ever had parents like, I'm disappointed in you, son? But I mean, when God looks down at the creation, he's like, I'm disappointed with all of you. Every one of you, I'm disappointed. And then God's just like, you know what? Forget it. I've tried. This is God. God's like, I've tried. I've tried to wake you up. Noah, this is not working, so I'll tell you what. We're going to go to plan B. We're going to kill everybody. That's plan B. That is the story. It's in there. You're like, Pastor, don't say it out loud. That's the story. And it has occurred to me recently, in light of where we are right now, sometimes it feels like, can this be stopped? And I have been reflecting on Genesis 7 going, maybe that was the point of the story. Because you know the people who edited and compiled this were living in a world where it felt like their oppression couldn't be stopped.
Mm-hmm.
That's where these writings come from.
Mm-hmm.
And right now in the world we live in, I start to realize that maybe the flood story reflects a longing for a genuine reset of the world. Because the world to that writer had become irredeemable and corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Man, imagine if we read it that way. This is like a longing. God, can you just reset the whole thing?